The 20th review for Last Castle in the Sky came in yesterday on Goodreads. And it wasn't a good review. I usually just let things like that go. It bothers me for a little bit, but then it kind of recedes because I know some people like the way I write, some people don't. But there's a difference between giving an honest review and just being, for lack of a better term, a jackass. Excuse my language. But I'm not going to name the review. I'm sure if you felt so inclined, you'd probably look it up for yourself. I'm not going to name the reviewer, but I will read the review. Which he did give it 3 stars out of 5, which befuddles me. I don't understand how somebody could write a review like this and give something 3 stars. But on June 23rd, this person finished Last Castle in the Sky, and this was their review. A Cure for Insomnia. Overly long, badly overwritten, poorly edited, and pointless. A story about sleazy people in a sleazy business with Vietnam and Civil War references as background. And the reason I'm doing this podcast is to kind of let you know how independent authors such as myself take reviews like this. I've had some bad reviews. I've talked about the one on Perfidious Tides where the guy was upset because it ended the way it did and gave it 1 star on Amazon. I'm cool with that, really, because that's really preference. But I started reading over this review over and over again. Overly long. I'm going to dissect it. And, well, let me tell you my first thoughts. My first feelings were hurt, because you never want someone to criticize like this. You put a lot of time and effort into these books. Not only writing them, like I said, independents like myself, you got 2 choices. You can either edit it yourself and have friends help you edit, or you can pay someone that you do not know and have no idea if they're a real editor or just some person in a basement with AI. And I've had a bad experience with editors. A traditionally published author will go through several edits, and there will be people there to help craft the story and keep it from being quote unquote overly long. There will be editors there that help you along the way. There will be people, there's a team of people, let me put it this way, that every book that you read that's traditionally published has gone through several hands other than the author. And the author, a lot of times, does not have final say on what you read, the final product. Independent authors pretty much have final say on what you read. But as I was thinking about this review, anger and the hurt kind of faded away very slightly. I had on my earphones listening to Metallica's Ride the Lightning. I was listening to Kill 'Em All yesterday, and today, or the day before and yesterday, I was going to listen to Ride the Lightning all the way through. And after I read this, I was flipping on my phone, and I read this review, and I just took my headphones off, put them on the coffee table over there. I didn't feel like finishing the album. It upset me a little bit. But let's kind of dissect the review. The title is just insulting, and I think he meant for it to be insulting. And we're going to do a little deeper dive on this reviewer in just a few minutes. But A Cure for Insomnia. Well, if it's a cure for insomnia and it puts you to sleep every time you open the book, maybe you wouldn't have finished it. Maybe every time you open the book, you'd went to sleep and not finished it. That would have been fine with me. Just put the book down, throw it away, take it off your Kindle, do whatever you got to do. But if it's a cure for insomnia and you don't want to go to sleep, just don't read it. And I'm looking at the review on my screen right now, and it's got 3 stars sitting there, and that bothers me. If it was really that bad, put a 1 star on it. I don't want any favors from you. If it's truly that bad and you hated it this much, put a 1 star on there. Don't give me 3. But the title really got to me, A Cure for Insomnia. Overly long. The book is less than 500 pages. The current book that I'm reading, Dark Wind by Clive Cussler, is over 500. And I'm not a big fan of Clive Cussler. In fact, this is the first book of his I've read. Now, I saw the movie Sahara, kind of liked it. And I do see some things that I don't like in this book, but would it cause me to call it a cure for insomnia or overly long, which I believe it is, because Clive Cussler goes into these long explanations of things, and a lot of his description of things, like, I'll give you an example. One line that I read this morning was like they were trying to do something. Now, it slips my mind, but the reference was like 2 wrestlers trying to subdue Hulk Hogan. And all through the book, there's things like that, and that I don't like that. I try to avoid that as much as I can in my own writing. But is it something that's going to cause me to get on the internet and be a keyboard warrior and call it a cure for insomnia and it's overly long? Overly long. Does it mean the story goes on too long? Because, buddy, if you didn't like that, there was a book before it and a book after, which I don't think you read, because we'll get to that in just a minute. Badly overwritten. I have a tendency to ramble in real life when I'm teaching, and I'm sure it infiltrates my writing. But I'd rather have somebody overwrite something than not get their point across. That's my own preference. Now, if your preference is to just read pulpy crap, that's fine with me. Read your commercial fiction. That's pretty much what it's called. And enjoy your 2 hours of whatever reading a 250-page quick-paced book. I'll go ahead and warn you, if you haven't read any of my writing is not fast-paced. I let the story breathe. That, I guess, to him is badly overwritten. Now, this one I can kind of understand. Poorly edited. And that's on me. And yesterday when I went over this review and started thinking about it, the poorly edited bothered me a lot, because that's something I can control for. And I went back in and started reading the first chapter of Last Castle in the Sky, and there were some errors right there in the first chapter. And I'm going to work on getting those corrected. It's a work in progress. Like I said, especially doing this on my own. And I ask people when they read the book, if they would email me with any kind of errors they come across. Duplicated words, things like that. And I call it in the first part of Last Castle, where Cliff was speaking, but he referenced himself, which was a mistake. He was supposed to be talking to Casey. So I caught that yesterday, and I apologize for things like that. There are so many times that you can look at something with your own eyes with everything starting to come together. And a reminder that I'm doing this pretty much on my own with help from other people. And we miss things, and the books are a work in progress. I try to correct things as I go along. But I started to just put down Come Our Way yesterday and work back on these books and start editing again. But I said, no, I can't do that. Come Our Way is my priority right now. So at some point this fall, probably, when hopefully Come Our Way, the first draft is finished and I'm letting it sit and breathe for a little while, I'll come back and be able to correct a lot of the mistakes. And I'm going to start with Last Castle, work my way to Live the Last Day, then come back to Perfidious Tides. And that's fair criticism, poorly edited. But the next one really got to me when it said it was pointless. Pointless? Did you not read the story? Oh, you may not have read Perfidious Tides. Maybe that's the problem, where you say it's pointless. It's not pointless. This is a story about family. This is a story about things that happen out of people's control and how that kind of directs their lives from one point to the ending. I don't understand pointless. I can't really talk about it. I don't understand it. What do you mean pointless? You want to just get one of these people in the room and say, okay, tell me what you mean. But that's not going to happen because they're reading these and then they're typing comments. And I'm going to explore him a little bit further in just a moment. And we'll learn a little bit about him and the way he likes to write reviews. And it says a story about sleazy people in a sleazy business. They're drug dealers. But they're not all sleazy. Do you call Cliff and Casey sleazy? What part of your life lets you look down on people and say these are sleazy people? All of these people, if you read the books and understand them, you can see from their point of view, they're not sleazy. The businesses they might be in are sleazy, but some people are in it by force. Some people are in it as a means to an end. Some people just got caught up in it. So right there, it tells me that this isn't your kind of story. Fine. Great. Give it 1 star. Say you didn't like it. Move on. If Vietnam and Civil War references as background, if you've read the books, you know that the Vietnam War is integral to this story. The Civil War, as it relates to the Confederados, it is essential to this story. It is not really background. It is woven into the fabric of the story. So I thought that was unfair. So this really got under my skin. I know as a writer, you're not supposed to let things like this get under your skin. But I read all reviews. And I look every day, which I know I shouldn't, at reviews, for reviews, see if anybody else has reviewed. And when I see that number tick forward, it's a moment of excitement. Like, what do they rate it? How do they like it? And I'm honest with you, the 1 stars don't bother me that much because there's books I don't like. But there's no reason for anyone to call someone else's work a cure for insomnia. But I'm going to dive into some of his reviews. And I'm going to look first at some of his 3-star reviews. And you can look on Goodreads at what they've read, what they have given 5 stars, what they've said about them. So let's take a look at his review for a book called The McAllister Files, Volume 1, Helix Rising, a military thriller origin story by J.L. Calder. His headline, intentionally offensive? The author's political leanings and contempt for politicians is obvious. His contempt for the Navy is only surpassed by his total ignorance of it. So now he is showing his feathers a little bit. His contempt for the Navy is only surpassed by his total ignorance of it. Okay, are you a Navy expert? Are you an expert on all things Navy? You called him ignorant after he read a book. Wrote a book about it. But how are you qualified to call him out? All right, let's scroll down a little bit to, let's see. This is his 3-star. Mind you, he does nothing less than 3 stars, which is disingenuous at its best. It's a Dwayne Morrow mystery number 3 called Retribution by Darren Miller and Nikki Miller. And this is his review. O-Ring, capital B-O-R-I-N-G. Not the only story with a dull protagonist, but it takes a special kind of talent to make almost 400 pages of total cars, gang violence, kidnapping, and multiple murders mind-numbingly dull. That was his review, and he left 3 stars. Let's look a little bit further. I want to look at one of his 5-star reviews. I want to see what he likes. Let's see on a book. He likes the book called Planet Killer. And it looks like science fiction, like a kid's science fiction, really. In his review of Planet Killers, The Artenian Wars number 3 by G.J. Ogden. More of the same. The fight continues with the bad guys always 2 steps ahead despite the minor tactical victories of humanity. Will the XO survive? So, that's the kind of things he likes. That sounds like a fast-paced book written for children or for early teens by looking at the cover of it. Let's take another look. Let's see. 5-star. Here's a 4-star review for Command Control. First Wave, Book 4 by Daniel Young. And looking at the cover, it's one of these sci-fi teenage thriller books. Elite ship of a galactic invasion, indestructible, with a psychotic AI, steering a monk and the brothers and crew in hot pursuit. And his title for this one was More of the Same. And looking through his ratings, most of the 4 and 5 stars are science fiction. So that leads me to ask the question, why in the world, if these are the kind of books that you like, are you reading Last Castle in the Sky first before reading Perfidious Tides anyway? Because it doesn't look like any of the other kind of books that you read that you like. The cover of Last Castle in the Sky surely didn't lead you in that direction, because it's not science fiction. If you'd read the descriptions and everything else, you would have found out this is probably not your ball of wax. And you could have left your condescending comments to yourself. Oh, here's a 3-star. Let's see what he's got to say. This is a review of the Presser arc, Comets of Omen number 1 by Charles Windorf. 3-star review. Headline: disturbing. The writing is uneven. The story itself imaginative, but in desperate need of editing, and unfortunately never pulls the reader in. So you can see, it takes a lot to impress this guy, and most of it is science fiction. He is not going to like a slow-paced, gritty, southern story, such as the Fractured Horizons books. So that makes me feel a little bit better, that he has not only been condescending to me, but to other people. And going in, human nature, you want to know a little bit more about the people. And I'm not going to call his name again. But I found out that the dude lives out in the desert, originally from New York, and dresses like a cowboy. To me, that is very strange. But I believe in to each his own. So, if by some chance that you ever come across this podcast and let me say it this way. If you don't like the way I've kind of described you, feel free to write a book and I'll read it and I'll give my honest opinion on it. I know I'm not supposed to really read into a whole lot, but that one kind of got to me because it was not only a bad review, the condescending tone. And you kind of want to be like, say that to my face. Because I got a feeling that he reads a lot of books. He has a lot of time on his hands. And he just likes to get on the internet and be, as I said before, a jackass. And I apologize for this rant, but it's something I needed to say, and this is one of the only outlets that I can really say it. I will say that Last Castle in the Sky still has a, 4.48 review. A 4.48 average review on Goodreads. 14 5 stars, 3 4 stars, 4 3 stars. Nothing below 3 stars on it. So I'm proud of this book. And apparently several other people are too. Going back in the tides, we stand at 52 ratings. And that gives us 42 out of 52 5 stars, 6 4 stars, 4 3 stars, nothing below. And Live the Last Day is just getting traction on here. It stands at a 4.29 with 7 ratings. And that gives us 3 5 stars, 3 4 stars, and 1 3 star. Again, none of the books have anything under a 3 star. It's really irritating just for somebody to be condescending like this guy was. And as far as Gump says, that's all I'm going to say about that. Ran over. I hope one day this reaches this guy's ears. So if you feel like sharing this over your social media, maybe it'll find it. Anyway, until next time, I'll talk to you later.